What's up, everyone? Man, it feels good saying that, Richard. After a 5 or 6 day hiatus going out of town, welcome back, and this is another edition of the Pacelli Basketball Coaches Show right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And I'm glad we're doing this because I want this to happen for all the schools that we support, but specifically Pacelli and Coach Black, because he was there from the very beginning, and I'm so glad that he's allowing us to be a part of a fantastic ride all season long. But there's been a lot of media outlets putting out there all the tough games that Pacelli boys and girls have been playing and winning and starting to put the city on the map. The problem is they've been on the map since last year, or since, honestly, Coach Black took over the job. But specifically these last couple of seasons, they've been the best program by far around this area. I am glad they're getting recognition, but we've been talking about this for a long time. And we got a great show in store for you today. We'll talk with Coach Black, AD-wise, what's happening, more than just basketball. I know it's a basketball coach show, but I want to give some updates on wrestling that's happening around. And then we'll talk to Bryant Thomas, the girls' coach, and then we'll go back to Coach Black to end the show to talk about the boys' program. But I was able to go to New York City to have an awesome time up in the city and on a ranch with the family for 5 or 6 days to relax, recuperate for what is about to be a busy holiday season of tournament basketball. But, Richard, you stepped in, as you always do, and you did the Douglas County games, which Pacelli boys and girls dominated those Hill games. So, Richard, go ahead and give us some updates on what happened last Friday night.
Well, they were taking on a 6A school out of Douglasville, Georgia, Douglas County. The Tigers came into the land, and let me tell you, that place was absolutely loud. And the fans really just, they fed off that energy from the fans in the stands. We'll start with the girls.
Yeah.
What can you say about the addition of Michaela Hosley?
She is
absolutely
game changer.
Dominant, a game changer. And you have Janiyah Broom, just some great, and they don't even have like their lead
Janiyah
scorer.
Broom plays for Harris County. It's okay. Shout out to her. She's a great player, but Janiyah Broom doesn't play for Pacelli.
Okay, so let me back up on there. Taniyah Ransom.
Tamaya Ransom. We're good. We're good. We're going to get that name.
We'll get there.
Listen, it's foggy brain. It's a lot of names you're having to remember. Tamaya Ransom, Zaniyah Crouch, Michaela Hosley. Ivana Thomas is not back, but we expect her to be back here coming up after December. But there's a lot of playmakers on that team, Richard.
And that was a closer game in the beginning, but they were able to pull it out. I mean, there were some runs in that game from Douglas County. And the Pacelli girls ended up getting the win. I mean, they've had some tough opponents. They lost to a 7A school, Joseph Wheeler, by 1 point. I mean, they're playing some tough competition, but they are also having a great season as far as the boys.
Well, hold on. Before you move on to the boys real quickly, you talked about Michaela Hosley. She's putting up almost 19 points a game.
A double-double just about every game.
You didn't even mention the 8th grader, Grace Smith. She's putting up 9, 10 points a game. She's also a newcomer. How about Kamari Jones, who has had a fantastic, as a freshman coming in, hitting some big-time shots. I saw on Pacelli Sports media pages, Jeremy Hayes took you making the call and adding it to the highlight. And I was like, you couldn't do that when I was calling the games. I had to get on to him, but great job for you, Richard. Zaniyah Crouch, Jayla Moore, who, again, having a little bit of slow start after great seasons last year. Remember, Zaniyah and Jayla both averaged 9 points a game. They're expected to have big seasons this year. They're getting to the flow of things. Remember, they've only played 5 games, so really big win for Coach Bryant. We'll talk about what they just did this past week, these past 2 days playing Hiram and Wheeler in just a moment. Now talk about the boys.
Well, the boys, I mean, you really got to start with that backcourt. Well, Deuce Moore runs the point, but you have players like Jaden Ford and TJ Smith, the 2 leading scorers from last year's team. I'm impressed with the depth coming off of the bench. A guy like Matthew Melvin hit a big shot, a big three-pointer. And, you know, you have Makai Williams, just a beast inside on the post. And, you know, Douglas County gave it their all. They went on some runs, and they kept it close. It was a little bit closer, but Pacelli ended up pulling away in the second half because they outscored Douglas County they only held them to 8 points in that third quarter. I mean, their defense just put the clamps on Douglas County. They're able to get the win, and then they turn around the next day and defeat South Paulding, and so they're 4-1 on the season. And Pacelli is looking good. They're ranked number 1 in the GIAA, and they're ranked one of the top teams in the state.
As they should be, but South Paulding was ranked in the top 10. That's another top 10 school, the third one they played already this year, and they've only played 5 games. 3 top 10 schools from big classification, whether it be 3A, 1A, 7A. They played 3 of them already, and they're 2-1 against those teams. Christian Heritage, they had the lead with like 2 minutes left.
Right.
So big time win for the boys program. And I'll talk with this with Coach Black. It's the defense that's really caught me by surprise. I knew they could score. They got a bunch of scores and can fill up the bucket and score a lot of points. But defensively, the way they shut down Valdosta, Douglas County, South Paulding, they're holding teams under 50 points, sometimes under 40 points. Really good job by him. We're going to take a quick break, and when we do come back, I'm going to talk with Coach Corey Black, AD-wise, and then we'll go into Bryant Thomas, and we'll bring Corey back on to talk about the boys' programs. This is Georgia Alabama Sports Live. The Pacelli Basketball Coaches Show will be back after this. Welcome back to the Pacelli Basketball Coaches Show. And now I'm with head boys basketball coach and athletic director, Coach Corey Black. And I didn't even mention, because we're obviously not in the gymnasium right now. You don't hear our echo. We're in the Beck Center, which is, if you've never seen it or been a part of it, they will gladly give you a tour. This is where they have indoor facilities. Corey, I'm just going to let you do the honor. Where are we at right now, and who do you want to give all the appreciativeness to?
To all our donors.
Right.
All of our anonymous donors that made this place. It's a place it's a student athlete center, what it is, an academic center too, where right now we're in the lobby of it, and we haven't had our grand opening yet. Hopefully in the spring we'll announce it and do all that stuff. Right now we just been going on the radar and grinding it out and letting our kids take advantage of it. But you have coaches' offices in here, you got tutoring rooms in here, you got a turf field, 2 sides, batting cages, film room, training room. Pretty special place right now.
No doubt about it, and it's taken Pacelli Athletics to a whole nother level. And I know you're thankful for all the donors and all the people that are able to make this possible. And again, it's right across the street. You'll see the signs and everything. You can take a picture of it. It's really cool. And he'll have a grand opening coming up here in the spring. So if you're looking for somewhere to play sports, you got to go somewhere that has high-level, high-tech stuff that's going to get your student athlete to the level they want to be at. Pacelli is the place for you. All right, Coach, we talked about here being at the Beck Center. I saw about 9 million pallets go by us, and it looks like wrestling mats and stuff. So talk about the wrestling, because it looked like they were hosting another event here. And how good is the wrestling team?
Wrestling team is really good. One of the best programs in the state. Last night we hosted a wrestling match with Crawford County, Harris County. Also had Jordan over here, Kendrick over here, girls and boys, and went really well. Had a sold-out gym last night. It was crazy. And so right now what they're doing, they're transferring the mats because they practice over here on the turf.
Gotcha.
So they're transferring the mats from back over here to the turf so they can get ready to practice. So they got 2 big meets this weekend.
Yeah, and Coach, I know you love basketball, but all the sports you're big supporters of, and wrestling, they've won many championships. You see in the gym, they got all the banners and everything else. So this is why they're one of the top programs. So congratulations to them. Any other updates you want to give us, Coach, about sports around here?
Yeah.
People giving back to the school or anything else? Any big news?
Got to give a shout out to our flag football team.
Yeah.
And on their state championship that they won. Our cross country programs competed really well. Volleyball competed really well. We had a really good fall season this year, and we just got to take that momentum from fall and keep it going in the winter.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and great job by all the programs around for Pacelli, competing at a high level, getting 2% better.
Yes, sir.
That's the main mantra. All right, guys, thank y'all so much, and we'll be right back. This was our AD talk here on the Pacelli Basketball Coach Show. Next up will be Bryant, and then we'll have Coach Black come on and talk about his boys program that is just taking the city by storm. It's the Pacelli Basketball Coaches Show right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Welcome back to the Pacelli Basketball Coaches Show, and I am with longtime friend and head of the girls program, Bryant Thomas. Bryant, as Richard was talking about, big win over Douglas County, and then you come back early this week. You lose to Wheeler, 7A school, by 1 in overtime. Could have won that game, and then beat Hiram by 7. I think that's a big win. Another 7A school. So talk about how you are filling out your team and how's it going. Especially these last 3 games, Douglas County, Wheeler, and Hiram. These are big public schools that you're hanging with or beating. How do you feel about your team so far this season?
I feel great about our team. Our team just trying to figure out our identity, our roles, each player individual roles, and I think we're starting to figure that out through the last few games that we have played. And then, playing against physical girls that know how to play, that played together for a while. So
right.
We're starting to understand ourselves, and we still got some more work to do.
And what are some of the things you do want to work on? I know turnovers has been a costly thing. Defensively, y'all played really well, especially with Michaela Hosley, man in the middle. So what are some things you want to work on as you head into Christmas break?
I watched film early this morning, just kind of look back at, we got young guards with not enough experience. So their turnovers, I understand them.
Right.
So we just got to work on them and show them, and how to correct them, take those away, and then capitalize on the defense side.
Yeah.
Because defense is what's holding us right now. So we can get the defense set. We're pretty good when we have our defense set and understand our rotations. But when we have those live turnovers and giving other people points, that's what's been hurting us right now.
No doubt about it. And Michaela, like I said, putting up 19, close to 10 rebounds, 3 or 4 blocks. She's been dominant. What did you expect when you knew that she was going to be coming in this year? I know she had a really good year last year coming off the bench and starting some for Northside. She really good for a Northside program that won the region. But what did you expect for her coming in this year? You think she was going to be this dominant?
I think she would. I thought she would be this dominant. I think now she got to understand the flow of the game,
right?
When to get hers and when to be a facilitator, control the tempo of the game. I think that's the part we got to get her to understand. Once we get to that point, I think it's really going to take our team to another level.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, now let's get the update on Ivana Thomas. I know I saw at practice, she is getting back. I know she's not near 100% yet, but what's the timetable looking like with her, and when do you think she could be at that point where, it's time to go suit up Ivana?
We said January, it's no rush. We don't want the kid to get injured again,
right.
So we'll take our time and we're day by day with it.
And how's practices going and stuff with her? Is she just taking it one step at a time?
Yeah, just one step at a time.
Okay, well, we hope Ivana get back healthy. We want you here. She's not played basketball, Coach, since November of last year.
Yes.
It's been over a year, and we're not expecting her again to be back on the court until January. But once she is, that's a huge addition to an already really loaded team. All right, Coach, let's talk about the next few couple of games before we get you out of here. Mm-hmm. You got Troup County on Thursday. That's a pretty good program. They're 5-3. I know they got blown out against Harris County, but Harris County is a really good program with Coach Ramsey Dunn. Then you play in a classic next week against Lithia Springs, Northgate, and Upson Lee. So talk about what you expect here the next week or so with games.
Next week or so, tomorrow we actually got Troup tomorrow at 2, so that's the only thing we kind of focus on right now. We took the day off. It's been a long week getting up down the road. Kids got finals. So right now, Troup is all on our mind right now. We're taking it one game at a time. And then we'll get back. They'll take a couple of days off, and we'll get back and, start practicing and go from there. I ain't even watched film from the other 3 games yet, so I can't even go that far out right now.
Right. Well, Coach Thomas, again, you're doing a great job. Your girls program is 3-2, but those 2 losses against Wheeler in overtime in Harris County, a 5A public school, is probably going to win the region and one of the best programs around here. This is a really good girls team, and I'm expecting big things, especially as we head into GIAA. So thank you so much, Coach Thomas, and good luck the rest of Christmas break. And we won't be talking with him till after. Hopefully, they'll be undefeated in that classic. Georgia Alabama Sports Live. The Pacelli basketball coach will be back after this. Welcome back here to the Pacelli Basketball Coach Show on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and it's now time for the boys program with head coach Corey Black. And Coach, you're taking the city by storm a lot, and I know you don't care about stuff like this. You don't care what the media people say. You don't care what people out, the fans, and you let them do the chirping. You don't care about stuff like that, but it is nice to know that people are noticing the hard work that you put in these last 7 years. You're 4-1. Your only loss was to Christian Heritage, which we've talked about this. You play like you have the last 3 games, you probably beat Christian Heritage. But what have you learned about your team with the win over South Paulding and the 6A win dominant over Douglas County, then a dominant win over 7A Valdosta these last 3 games?
I learned that we can handle some adversity. When teams make some runs on us, we can respond. I learned that if we get down, we can respond. If a team jump out zone, we can respond. So I have learned that. I can share. I also know that we share that basketball. We're really good. But we got some kids that have stepped up. That's getting better every game.
Yeah. And Coach, we talked about this with Richard. The defense has been one of the focal points, and y'all play excellent defense. You caused people to turn the ball over. Even with Valdosta, who had a huge height advantage, it didn't matter. Y'all rebounded them, and you held them scoreless for a majority of that first half. I mean, they scored like 15, 20 points, I think, the total. So defensively, what are some things y'all been working on?
Well, defense, we just stress it every day. If you're going to, yeah, we got some scores, but if you don't defend, you're not going to win a championship. Just that simple. So we stress it every day, and that's something we put emphasis on this preseason and off season. It's about we got to defend and we got to get stops. We got to get 3 stops in a row, 7 times a game to get to have a chance to win. And if we do that, which we have been successful doing it here lately, we're pretty good.
All right, we know T.J. Smith, who put up 15 lead score last year. He's lead scorer this year at 19.8. Jaden's Ford putting up 19.6. They're probably going to be 20-point-a-game scorers. We knew they were going to do their thing. But some of the other guys, I thought Justy has played really well and coming to his own. He's taken on that Kingston Salmon role from last year. Jalen Bush has played well. But I know you, Coach Mahone, really everyone that's around the Pacelli program, myself included, Matthew Melvin and Mekhi Williams have so much potential, and they're coming into their own. But what are some of the things you want to see them and anyone else other than TJ and Jaden's improve on scoring-wise or offensively?
Yeah, that's what we talked about yesterday in practice. The scouting report says you stop Jaden, you stop TJ, that's you holding them 40 points. Who else you gonna get? So AZ has stepped up, averaging about 8 points a game. We need him to do a little bit more. We need Mekhi and Matthew and the Jalen Bush, the Trent Lathams. We need Christian and Deuce to come in there and help offensively too. Just to take the load. But you do that by you getting in the paint, you moving the ball, and then opening stuff up. So our role guys going to have to really step it up because the scouting report is going to get around. And some of these teams, our schedule is tougher. We ain't even got started yet. So other people is going to have to step up and make some plays.
TJ is also averaging 7 rebounds a game. I know that's impressive.
It is.
One of the things that we all knew he could shoot, but being able to handle the rock, facilitate, doing the little things, I know that's what colleges are looking for, college coaches. So we were really hoping that he's going to definitely play at the next level, but he has obviously worked on things in his game other than just shooting. And you talked about your schedule. We already played the toughest schedule in this area by far, and I think everyone can agree with that. Then you got at Warner Robins, another big-time school. Tift County on Saturday. We'll be there live streaming that game. This is part of the Warner Robins Classic. It has a name for it, but it's at Warner Robins where this class is going to be. And then next week, you had a Lee County tournament. It's got Daughtery and a bunch of other big-time schools. That's 3 games you got to play. Come back from that, you got at Newton, another top 10 school. You still got at Sandy Creek, and you still got at Baldwin. I mean, these are big-time schools that you're having to face against at some point throughout the season. So specifically with this Christmas break, Coach, you got the 2 Friday and Saturday and the 3 next week. Is it winning the championship in those tournaments? Is it going undefeated? What's your goal these next 2 weeks to get your program where you want to be heading in January?
Like we always say, just get 2% better. Just get better from day to day, and whatever the result is, it is what it is. But you just want to get better from our last game at South Paulding to Friday night at Warner Robins. Everything we got to get better between now and then. So it's just about getting better. It's not even about winning it winning the championship or winning that game. You get better, the results will take care of themselves. So it's about getting better every defense possession, every offense possession.
Yeah, I agree, Coach, and I'm excited to see the rest of the season play out. How are the football guys like Justy and Deuce Moore, are they starting to get in basketball
Yeah,
shape? Do you feel like
yeah.
knocking the rust off TJ Smith too?
Yeah, they're rolling. They're rolling. They get more comfortable. I think the football rust is gone.
Good.
It needs to be gone by Friday, too, before we get to Warner Robins. But they're playing well. We're getting a little bit more rhythm with the team, and I like where we're at right now.
I do too. And again, we will be there Saturday for Tift County, and next week we'll be at one of the games for their tournament in Lee County. Georgia Alabama Sports Lab for the Pacelli girls and boys programs throughout the year. Excited about it. So, Coach Black, thank you so much. Any other last words you want to say? And we probably won't have another coach show till we after the new year. And we'll come back and we'll talk about what happened during this Christmas break. Any other words you want to say, Coach?
No word. Thank y'all for doing everything y'all do for us. Good luck to all the Muskogee County teams playing in the
Tournament,
in their tournament what's today and tomorrow, right?
It's today, the semifinal day, and all day tomorrow, the place games.
Good local hoops. People get out there, go watch some local hoops and support them.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Coach Black, even before he became head guy at Pacelli, he's put thousands of guys, including me and my brother, in colleges because he believed in them. So you're still that guy. You're still that guy trying to help guys get to the next level. I know you're the head Pacelli guy. Those guys come first, but you're going to help out anybody you can. For Corey Black, Bryant Thomas, Richard Holdridge, I'm Third Banner saying thank you so much, and we'll see you later on tonight as you know what? We're going to bring him on. We'll take one more break. I'm going to bring Richard on so we can talk a little bit about the tournament. It's Pacelli basketball coach show right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. It's time now for our weekly thanks to the producers. So thank you so much to Chris Gates and Toygar Isla. We appreciate them.
Absolutely.
Again, we had CVCC games this past weekend on Saturday. We had Pacelli. I'm out of town. I know Georgia Alabama Sports Live was my brainchild. Richard, you've been there since the very beginning and helped with a lot of the ideas. I give you just as much credit as I get, but none of this is possible, Richard. We'd be just doing it off our phone like we did last year. And
right.
That's our one-year anniversary of starting live streaming was last year at this tournament, Muskogee County Christmas Tournament. And it was a lot of fun. And then we decided to get 2 producers, and it took us from just having fun with it to being actually serious and taking it to a whole nother level. And guess what? We're going to be at 2 different locations this time. Last year we just did that one day. We're doing 2 days this year. Myself and Chris Gates are going to be at Spencer for Spencer Hardaway Girls, Spencer Hardaway Boys, and you and Toygar are going to be at Carver for Carver Shaw Girls, Carver Shaw Boys. So we got all 8 programs, and that's 4 different schools, boys and girls programs that are in the semifinals, and it's the same matchups. That's pretty cool. And then on the other side, you got they're playing for 5th place and 7th place. So Kendrick, Jordan, Columbus, and Northside all playing for those. And we'll have them, not tonight, but we'll have the 5th and 7th place. So all those schools will get broadcasted on Thursday. Richard, let's talk about the Christmas tournament right now. You got the number 2 seed Spencer taking on the number 3 seed Hardaway in both girls and boys. I'll be there with Chris. I think it's going to be a really good matchup. Spencer has been on a roll as of late. They've been taking people to the woodshed. Right now, it looks like a head-on collision with them and Carver on the boys' side. On the girls' side, obviously, Carver Hardaway is a collision course as both Final Four teams or Elite Eight and Final Four teams from last year. But how do you see both those games playing out?
Well, first of all, on the girls' side, Spencer is undefeated. You got to watch out for the Burke sisters. They're absolutely just
terrorists when it comes
terrorists
to
on the court.
Yes.
I do believe the Hardaway should win this game. What Coach Ellison has done with the Hardaway program, getting them to the Final Four last year. Michaela Williams, I mean, what can you say about what Michaela Johnson, actually. What can you say about what Michaela Johnson
already
has done?
Already a 1,000-point scorer.
Absolutely, and what they have, and they don't even have their one of their key players is still injured, and so I really think it's going to be Hardaway and Carver on the girls' side in the championship. What Coach Anson Hunley has done for Carver, I'll be at Carver tonight.
And I just want to say shout out to finish, and I'll give my shout outs. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm just saying that what Carver has done, Coach Hunley, I mean, we call that Carver-Harris County game. Carver ended up beating the 5A Harris County game. They play a tough Shaw game tonight. Coach Crowell and what Coach Brown has done for the Shaw Lady Raiders, Tierra Tucker, that's the player to watch tonight. But you also got Chubb Williams for the Carver Lady Tigers. It's going to be a fun, exciting matchup on the girls' side.
Yeah, and I'm going to give a shout out to Curtis Crowell. He's done a great job. Tierra Tucker's putting up over 20 points a game this year. They're going to keep it competitive. I just don't think they have enough firepower, but we'll see. We're excited. We're neutral when it comes to these games. We're just trying to give our predictions. So I think Carver girls and Hardaway, as good as the Burke sisters have been, inside they have no answer, I think, for Keela Shelton,
right?
TK Shelton, who is AK Shelton. I don't know why I said that. Akila Shelton. Who is blocking everybody's shots. She's probably blocked mine and yours, Richard. Michaela Johnson. This team is loaded. Plus, they got back their point guard, Adasia Burrell. So I expect Hardaway to be competitive, and I expect to be Hardaway Carver in the girls. On the boys' side, as good as Spencer's played, and they have been playing really well.
Absolutely.
And they're the favorite tonight, being at home. Don't sleep on Coach Mills' Hardaway team. They're senior-led. You called that game against Brookstone. They also won another blowout game a few days ago. I forgot who they just played. They beat Brookstone. Oh, they did beat Columbus High last night, but before Columbus High, I was hoping maybe we can pull that up, Richard, real quickly.
Yeah.
Hardaway got Harris County. They dominated Harris County. I couldn't get that out. So Harris County, they beat them. They dominated Brookstone, and then they beat Columbus High. I like this Hardaway team, man, and I'm telling you, do not be shocked if we get a Hardaway Carver, because I think Shaw is just – Carver right now is the best Muskogee County boys basketball program. They are the favorite to win it all, and I expect them to beat Shaw. It'll be close. It'll be competitive, but Carver will win that. On the other side, I could see an upset in Hardaway beating Spencer. Everybody wants that Carver-Spencer boys game.
They do.
But I can see Hardaway putting a wrench in it and making it to the championship.
When you talked about Coach Mills' senior-led team, you got to think of the big three for Hardaway. Makai Benton, Lamel Mims, and Antonio Dortch. That is where the majority of the scoring comes from. But also inside with the rebounding, Kerry Fudge, Zaire Hodge. They've got a lot of leadership, a lot of experience. What Coach Kendall Mills has done, I know that they missed out on the playoffs last year. They only won 9 games. But they did finish third place in this Christmas tournament last year. You know that Coach Mills is going to take this seriously. I would not be surprised if Hardaway did get the upset against Spencer and we saw a Hardaway-Carver final. But I think that Hardaway is in really good position. If they don't beat Spencer, and I mean, they'll play in the third-place game more than likely against Shaw.
Yeah.
And so I think that what the Hardaway Hawks have done on the boys' side, I think they are ready for an upset tonight. But when you look at Spencer, you got to think of Gary Gaither. He's going to shoot the lights out of the ball. He's going to shoot from NBA range.
It's definitely going to be a fantastic game. Girls, 6 o'clock at both Carver and Spencer is the locations. We're going to have both the girls and the boys game starting at 6 and 7:30. Both of them will be on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. We'll share them out. You'll be able to watch both of them. And then on Thursday, we got the all-day 7th place, 5th place, 3rd place, and championship. We won't know the seedings until later on tonight. And then on Saturday, me and Chris, we're going to be heading up to Warner Robins as Tift County takes on Pacelli. So
nice. Got
a busy week. And then next week is Border Wars. By the way, Glenwood, they're going to be playing in a tournament in Tennessee. They take on Halls High School out of Tennessee. And the girls program is also playing in the Tennessee tournament.
They're taking on Carnes.
So we're showing them support. You did a good job with the Coach Purdue show. It's here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and cannot wait for that. They got a big win against Lakeside, so girls and boys program represent us well. And then next week, Calvary and Glenwood, we're going to get 6 games of theirs, and Pacelli. It's going to be a busy week for sure. But all Muskogee County schools, we're tackling them here. Tonight, semifinals. Tomorrow, all the place games from Corey Black, Bryant Thomas, Richard Holdridge. Thank y'all so much. We will have a show later on. We plan on doing one, either a Christmas Eve show or a Christmas show. We'll decide that, but you're going to get a show talking all basketball, all things leading up to the committee playoff that's happening that doesn't have Florida State or Georgia in it that people are still mad about. It's Thrift and Richard here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We'll see you tonight. Thank y'all so much.